So today we're going to be talking about Treflips. Because honestly, there is a bit of a trick to doing them.
And it's more about how to get particularly high Treflips, but I think it would be more beneficial to teach somebody that's beginning how to do this because I feel like it's more consistent.
I've been doing my Treflips like this for a really long time, and I feel like I can give you a more in-depth understanding or tutorial of actually how to Treflip like this. Now there's two parts to using this trick. The first is the foot positioning. You want it in that back tail area, not in the pocket, just outside, more on the edge of the tail. Your front foot doesn't necessarily matter exactly where it is, just as long as it's anywhere from mid to bolts. And you can change this position depending on however you're trying to make the Treflip look, while also being in charge of the amount of flick you give the trick. As a beginner, you're probably going to be jumping diagonally to catch the trick. Just know that it is completely normal and you're going to end up with lower Treflips doing this. The more momentum you can get into an upward force is going to make it so the Treflip can actually get higher.
If you just jump up on a Treflip, but you have your foot down here in the pocket and you do the scoopy thing, it's gonna get out ahead of you.
Everybody says to put your back foot in the pocket. I would argue against that because I feel like putting it further back on the tail, while it makes actually flipping the board harder, it actually makes it more consistent once you figure it out.
Now there's a weight distribution. Your front foot isn't gonna do a whole lot. Your front foot is just kind of there to make sure it does the full rotation of the flip. If you pop and you feel like it's not gonna have a good flick off of the pop, you can give it a little bit of flick. You'll kind of get used to this based on the way it feels.
Now the last thing to understand for Treflips is there is a scoop involved. Both versions of the trick, whether you're in the pocket or at the back of the tail, you have to scoop the trick. And a good way to think about how to do the scoop is to make like a little miniature pushing motion with your foot. Because, I mean, essentially you're doing the same thing as you would if you're pushing on your skateboard, but you're making it really little and it's mainly ankle movements rather than your whole leg.
Okay, there's a weight shift. When I go up to do Treflips, I put all my weight on my front foot in the beginning, and then I slowly transfer it to the back foot. When you transfer it to the back foot, that acts as your spring. That's what's gonna give you all the height. Doing all of this in tandem is great, but if you're gonna fight your own body weight, you're still not gonna get it very up there. Fighting your own body weight is the biggest tip that I can give to a beginner skateboarder for several reasons. Because if you're fighting your body weight, you're making the trick immensely harder than it needs to be. Depending on however you're doing the Treflip, whether you're doing it the regular scoopy way with your foot in the pocket, or you're doing it the really popped out here way, your body weight needs to be leaving the board as you throw the pop. If you try to pop and you leave all your weight on your front foot, that's what you're gonna do, right? You want all of your weight to leave as you Treflip.
Breaking this down a little bit further, if you watch this trick back frame by frame, you can see by this point, I have already started the jump and all of my weight is away from the board. This is important for both the front and the back foot because if you leave any weight attached to the board, you're gonna inhibit the way the board is able to flip, meaning it's either not gonna flip enough or it's gonna flip really wonky and you'll end up with attempts like these.
Damn it. In the spirit of doing Treflips, there is one particular type of Treflip that I cannot do, and that is switch trays. I have tried them several times. I've probably tried to do them in videos before. Never done one. We're going to try to apply all of that same logic that I was talking about, how to do a regular Treflip, and we're gonna see if I can learn switch Treflips today. Let's get going. Yeah, that's first try. Damn it. Okay, so that was like a good flip. The only thing I really didn't do was commit there because it was there, the flip was there, I just didn't let my back foot follow. Almost. I caught it really good. I think another good thing to remember is that when you're flipping Treflips, it takes time to really learn how to get your power to go in more of an upward motion rather than a forward motion, especially with Treflips because there's a lot of scoop and things involved. That time I focused a lot more on the weight distribution. Almost. Oh, we're getting there. Does that count? Damn it. So close. Really bad heel drag. That's like kind of my first switch tray right there. Wow. Let's see if I can do a little bit better. My foot's underneath it, really? That would have been it. That's what I'm talking about. No heel drag. It's really low. Ah.
Hopefully some of these tips can help you learn how to tray flip. I know when I was first learning, it seemed like it took forever. And even then, when I still learned them, they weren't consistent for a really long time. And that is something to remember about more complicated tricks like tray flips, is that they take time. And to get really consistent and really good with things, it takes practice. So don't give up so quickly. It just takes a little bit of time and effort. These tricks and tips will help you get them consistent faster than I was able to. Anyway, if this helped you in any way, give the video a like, drop me a sub, helps out a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Check it out.